Well, I guess I'm continuing this, so welcome one and all to the SML January 2024 batch review video. Now before we begin, I will say that January has always been a weak month for Logan for ages now, even since before the switch to the puppets. Logan has said that due to low ad rates, this is a time they just sort of throw whatever out there to keep the schedule. And, well, let's just get into the videos and I'll talk more about this at the end. Junior kidnaps Penelope. While this video had a decent idea to it, this video had a couple good moments as well, such as Cody's Elmo impressions and a couple of Brooklyn Guys jokes. Other than that, though, this video was just a ton of filler. This joke with Cody continually being interrupted might have been funny if it didn't go on for, oh yeah, over 2 minutes. That should have been maybe a 20-second joke at most. This video is a 2 out of 10 since it gets points for a decent premise and having a couple funny jokes, but it's just such a slog to rewatch due to just how much filler there is. What a great way to start off the year. The Golden Nugget. Okay, so does everyone remember that Angry Ronald bit that I said got old fast? Or I suppose in December it was Angry Santa? Well, guess what this video does again? In fact, in just one scene, this bit goes on for minutes on end. The joke is that no one knows who Kerwin Frost is, which, yeah, I don't know either. And I hope you like the fact that no one knows who Kerwin Frost is, because that's the rest of the video too. I did find the return of the Burger King pretty funny, and the part with the other mascots playing blackjack was also good. Ultimately, however, this is a 3 out of 10. While some portions of the video were good, the rest of it relied on the same couple of jokes, which, while briefly funny, largely overstayed their welcome. I think someone was just mad about the existence of a Kerwin Frost Happy Meal. Jeffy's Club. Jeffy's Club was a bit more creative than the last two videos. You know, a bit. In short, Jeffy opens his own club for some reason. Much of this video actually took place outside the room with Bully acting as bouncer. Something about the bubble machine falling over and immediately catching on fire with the green screen fire effect was hilarious. Although the fire was never really resolved, so the video just sort of ended. However, honestly, this video is just a 3.5 out of 10. Don't get me wrong, it was definitely an interesting concept, but especially rewatching this video, it felt like a video where not a ton happened, and more just a bunch of filler and arguing. Once again, it had a good premise behind it, but a lot more could have been done with this idea. Brooklyn Guy the Mind Reader. Oh hey, another Brooklyn Guy video. I wonder how this one is. Well, it certainly isn't as good as the last Brooklyn Guy video. It was certainly funny enough, don't get me wrong, and the bonesaw line being repeated was actually funny upon rewatching this video. However, I think this concept was not only underdone, but had been done better before in Superpowers 2. If I were to add more to this, I'd simply add in more Brooklyn Guy's professions, or make his mind reading not so on demand. For example, as a doctor, he hears the panic of someone worried about a diagnosis, or as a firefighter, he hears both vocal and mental panic. I think it would make for a much more interesting video, and give him more reason to get rid of this power at the end of the video. Also, make his mind reading not so on demand. Make it so he can't tune out certain things, or he has to hear a bunch of things when a lot of people are in a room. However, this video is a 5 out of 10. It's not spectacular, but it was funny enough, and ultimately a perfectly fine video. The Tornado. Okay, this video was actually unintentionally funny to me, mainly because of how predictable SML has gotten recently. In this video, there's a tornado, but as it turns out there are multiples, and someone is creating them, called Tornado Man, which I literally called in the reaction. However, despite that unintentionally funny bit, I think the rest of the video was just sort of okay, I guess. I think the Mosquito Man part was both kind of funny as a reference, but at the same time felt like filler. I think for people who get the joke, it's funny, but for those who don't, it's just sort of there. I will say that I did like the ending though, with the plot just being really quickly resolved. Overall though, this is a 3.8 out of 10. It certainly had funny moments, even if some of them were entirely unintentional, but there was quite a bit of filler in this video, which ultimately led to it being another video that just sort of happened. Jeffy attacks the judge. Okay, this video should have had the FNAF 2 jump scare sound in it though. On a more serious note, this video was almost entirely based off of that clip which was briefly a meme, where some guy lunged at a judge. To be fair, this was a fairly funny video for the first half of it. The second half, however, was a lot of Brooklyn guy explaining a convoluted plan to keep Jeffy in prison, only for him to very obviously escape, all accompanied by a Nintendo animation, which Logan seriously needs to work into the video better. There wasn't even a clip of Jeffy escaping, he just did it, which made the past few minutes basically pointless, and then we find out that, oh, the judges are actually completely fine. This one's going to be a 4.5 out of 10 though. It had a funny start that sort of fizzled out halfway through, which is sort of a shame too. I think the animation would have been funny if I hadn't known that Jeffy would instantly teleport himself out, but considering I predicted that correctly, it really did make the whole portion feel a bit pointless. Cody's Hot Dog Restaurant. Can I just give the score now? 1.5 out of 10. This video was so bad since it all relied upon the same exact joke over and over and over again. Get it, guys? Guess what hot dogs look like? And also, Cody and Timmy are gay. Get it? Isn't that hilarious? Yeah, we better keep that joke going for 10 minutes. The only real redeeming quality of this video was Simmons and to a lesser extent Brooklyn guy, since they were actually sort of funny. Other than that though,
it sucks monkey butts like all the fucking rest!
Goodman's heart transplant. Well, this video was a bunch of filler. This video would have been interesting, except the video felt like it kept getting held up by more and more filler. Some jokes sort of landed, but most of them weren't all that funny, despite the attempt. The joke with the assassin not only went on too long, but it was very obvious what was going to happen. So basically this video was either filler or dumb jokes, which is why it's getting a 2 out of 10. I could easily see a lot of potential in this video, such as Goodman trying to raid a morgue or something, but instead what we got was this video, where barely anything happened. Oh, and the best part? The ending, where as it turns out, Goodman's heart was just a sticker on the X-ray. Hilarious. The rigged game. And if you thought the last video had too much filler, just wait until you see this one, since it was basically all filler. Here, want me to summarize the video? Tom Brady wants the Buccaneers to lose and wants Marvin, whatever, to find a way to rig the game. This happens and the Buccaneers lose. There you go, I just saved you wasting over 10 minutes watching this dumb video. The rest of the video was all the wacky ways they tried to rig the game, none of which was later shown on screen, of course. But hey, they also make a bet. It's never really followed through, but it sure did happen. Look, this video is a 1.5 out of 10, since it was all filler. I know January is supposed to be the lazy month, but wow, this one was really bad. Now here's a video that could have been funny, but instead sort of fell into the it existed tier. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't bad by any means, in fact I'd argue it's sort of decent, though honestly the scene with Brooklyn guy at his ex-girlfriend's house went on way longer than it should have. I did like some of the jokes, however, that would come along with Brooklyn guy trying and failing to do a stakeout, such as being interrupted by someone driving by, Penelope calling, Simmons being sent in, and so on. I think the only major issue, aside from the scene I mentioned earlier with this video, was that there just wasn't more of it. Honestly, it's decent for what it's worth, which is why it's getting 5.5 out of 10. It made me laugh, and it was funny enough, but some parts that went on too long simply dragged this video down. Plus the ending, which was another January video ending where everything basically gets undone. Otherwise though, it was a decent video. Stinken. Wow, I'm pretty sure this was the only video this month I didn't react to. I just looked at the thumbnail and decided I just really couldn't be bothered. So how was the video anyway? It was bad. For starters, they do more of the, haha, Cody and Timmy are gay. joke, which, after the previous Cody video, is just really annoying at this point. I also decided to count how many times I laughed when watching this video. And let's see the final score for how many times I laughed. Oh wow, would you look at that? It was 0! I laughed 0 times at this video. This video was just really stupid, and I think they were trying to see just how absurd they could make this video, but it didn't end up being funny at all. Also, how Cody looked toward the end of the video made me want to HDMI cable, and also reminded me of how awful Cody's character is now. 1.5 out of 10, because this video was just terrible. Hey, remember when Cody was a good character? Sure, he had his gay jokes, but it wasn't only that. I don't even hate those jokes, but doing that in excess like has been done with modern Cody is just annoying. I mean, sure, some could argue that wasn't his only joke in this video, but the other one was awful too. And I know some characters like Brooklyn Guy tried to play off of this just in a sort of disappointed way, but it still didn't change the fact the joke was really stupid and that this video was just bad. Jeffy's mad cow disease. Okay guys, so remember Angry Ronald from a few videos ago? Yeah, he's back, and this time without any of the stuff from the other video that helped make him a bit funny. Did you want 4 minutes straight of basically the same joke? You didn't? Well, too bad, you get it anyways. After a while, it felt like the original plot was just sort of forgotten about, and I think it actually sort of was, since you can't tell me that ending didn't feel rushed. The Nintendo animation was actually somewhat clever since it called back to something Brooklyn Guy mentioned in the previous video. That, and it was actually funny in a video full of either, well this is happening now, or please stop, this joke is annoying. But guys, don't you get it? The joke is that Ronald McDonald doesn't actually act like that. 2 out of 10. The Ronald bit was funny once upon a time, but now it's gotten really annoying, and the rest of the video just sort of happened. Junior's crazy assumption. Okay, the final video of January. And yeah, it still isn't very good. Junior makes a crazy assumption, like the title says, and half the video is him doing nothing but either worrying based on that assumption, or talking about how water towers work. The water tower bit was very obviously there as a wacky random joke for the sake of filling up time. I actually thought it was funny briefly, but the joke just kept going and going. Then we of course get to the joke where Cody says the picture is too large to view on his phone, and they need to go see it on an IMAX screen. Look, Brooklyn Guy did this joke way better in Jeffy Catches a Predator, in part because it was way quicker and to the point compared to this video. Also, there's the point made that Junior and everyone else is in 5th grade, which... how? Isn't Junior and his friends canonically like 15? At least with Jeffy, we can sort of make the excuse that he's just dumb, so that's what happened there. But what about the others? I don't even mind that the continuity isn't supposed to make sense as a general plot point, but then why do the birthday videos? Why reference these sorts of things to a point where some of them are literally part of the continuity? And all of that for a stupid video like this one. This is another 2 out of 10. It wasn't all that funny, the continuity issues bother me, and there was a whole bunch of filler. I did like the cat at the beginning of the video though. So yeah, what a great video to end off January, huh? Alright, let's get to the average score. This month's average was a 2.9, but again, let's round that up to the nearest regular score of a 3 out of 10. Let me remind you that December's was already low at a 3.8. January is nearly an entire point below December's. And 3 videos were doing most of the heavy lifting for that score, and only one of them got above a 5. I get that January is supposed to be the no effort month for Logan, but seriously, many of these videos could have been done way better, but just weren't. I will say that my favorite video of this month was the stakeout, since it was actually somewhat creative. Logan needs to seriously reduce the filler, as it was super obvious this month, and he needs to stop doing the same joke over and over. Especially the Ronald one. Those ones in particular should last maybe 30 seconds going forward, since we've seen that done plenty as of late. Also, maybe make Cody actually funny again and not rely on the same 1 or 2 jokes. But that's all for now. Thank y'all for watching, and take care.
I sentence you.
Oh, fuck that bitch!